Shut up and sit down.
Welcome back to Nerd Safari. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about animal actors in movies and TV. Now, we all recognise and adore animals playing straightforward alien roles. You've got Goose in Captain Marvel, and you've got Frank the Pug in Men in Black. But the ones that really tickle me are the animals who are dressed up to play monsters and aliens. The most notorious of these are gloriously terrible horror movies. There was a movie that came out in 1959 called The Killer Shrews. You will never believe this, but it was about killer shrews. Now, in real life, shrews are pretty fierce hunters. However, they don't inspire fear in anything much bigger than an earthworm, with most species being not much larger than a bottle cap.
Looks like a small rat.
Shrews as small as rats, perfect for scientific experiments, until they began to grow and grow into things.
So how do we go about making a shrew look scary for a horror movie? Nowadays we've got a lot of options, but back in 1959 there was no HD, so they could get away with putting a furry coat and a fake tail on a few dogs and filming them having a marvelous time running around in the woods. It was a simpler time.
The wildest of flesh eaters, threatening all mankind. Your flesh will crawl with fear at their nearness.
Now, you may not have heard of a movie called Three Dev Adam or Three Giant Men. However, you may know it under its more colloquial title, Turkish SpiderMan. Turkish SpiderMan is a gloriously bonkers movie from 1973 and has become a cult classic because it just has a meandering plot, makes no sense, and in one memorable scene there are some man-eating guinea pigs used as a torture device. Now, I probably don't need to tell you that guinea pigs in real life actually do not have a hunger for human flesh. However, in a crazy movie, it's quite fun to pretend that maybe they do.
Eğlence bitti. Herkes yukarı.
Now, do you know what improves most movies? Dinosaurs. But what do you do if it's 1959 and you haven't yet invented Jurassic Park level movie making magic? Well, the movie Journey to the Center of the Earth chose to stick fins on a few iguanas and have them run around being Dimetrodons. So you can watch these iguanas waddling around with their fins strapped on, looking incredibly majestic, and I fully support that decision. I genuinely think that all lizards should be given every opportunity to cosplay. They clearly enjoy it and having a lovely time. Now, the poor iguana in 1996 movie 1 Million Years BC was not allowed to cosplay. All he got to do was pretend to be giant because they decided to use stop-motion dinosaurs instead. I have mixed feelings about that decision, but I do hope the iguana had a lovely time on set.
I'm a giant lizard in the desert. I can eat the mountains.
One of my favourite animal actors appears in 2003 movie Holes. This is, of course, the bearded dragon. Now, in Holes, the deadly and fearsome yellow-spotted lizards were played by several bearded dragons with a little help from some non-toxic yellow paint.
Come here, sweetheart.
Now, in real life, bearded dragons are pretty docile little lumps, so in the movie, in order to make the fearsome yellow-spotted lizards more fearsome and attack some people, they did have to use CGI.
Start digging, trout.
I am very partial to bearded dragons. They are so curious and sweet-natured. We do often let ours roam around the house and they just kind of wander from room to room, but they will come back and check on you every now and again because they sure know where their treats come from.
I did a problem at the villagers.
So I've covered animals in movies, but there are some fun examples in TV. Now, often animals that are easy to find and easy to work with are used as stand-ins for more complex animals, but that's not so fun. What I find fun again is when animals, straightforward regular animals, get to play aliens or monsters. Now, I don't know if you remember that episode of The X-Files where they went to the Arctic and there was that parasitic worm that turned everyone crazy.
Get the worm.
That episode of The X-Files stuck in my head because the worm they chose to use was called a Morio worm or superworm, and they are incredibly common. You can find them in most pet stores, not as pets but as food. They are the larvae of the darkling beetle, and the larvae themselves, the superworms, are really nutritious, and they are an incredibly popular food for reptiles such as bearded dragons. Now, you know, every chance I get, I do love to talk about Star Trek, and they have given me two incredible examples for this video. In the original series, we discover an Alfa-177 Canine, which is a very sweet and well-behaved dog who has been given an extravagant fur coat, a leathery tail, a unicorn horn, and apparently lobster antennae. Now, in Star Trek Next Generation, we get to meet Worf's childhood pet, a fearsome Targ, and that species tends to recur in other Star Trek seasons, often in the background, with a little bit of help from CGI or maybe some physical props in the background. But this one in particular was played by a Russian wild boar named Emmy Lou. And reports from set said that Emmy Lou had an incredibly strong smell, and she also left her mark on the bridge set, a mark which remained until they replaced that part of the set at the end of the season. So these are a few of my very favourite aliens and monsters played by animals across movies and TV shows, but were there any I missed? Anything that sticks in your head from your favourite TV shows? Let me know in the comments, I would really like to hear it, and as always, please like and subscribe to get that excellent, fresh movie nerd content right to your screens. So peace out, nerds. Peace out, nerds.
Shut up and sit down.